It's pretty big. It's pretty big. So stay tuned. I'll tell you all about that coming up here in a short period of time. Say it ain't so. Tiger gets another not another. He gets a Dewey. Yeah, Tiger Woods was arrested on a charge of driving under the influence early Monday near his home in Jupiter, Florida, according to the Palm Beach County Sheriff's Office. But here's the thing about it. It's come out afterwards that it wasn't anything to do with alcohol. And we'll get more into details about exactly what happened and what Tiger's saying and how he's responding to what happened. But it's not alcohol. It's them damn painkillers. And Tiger's did you realize that this man has had 4 back surgeries? How the hell you going to have 4 back surgeries and ever expect to play golf again? But just a bad look. When I saw and the news broke kind of like yesterday afternoon, a little bit after 12 noon Eastern time, when I saw the story, man, and I saw the mugshot that they had, man, it looked so much like so many other mugshots that we've seen from athletes whenever they were getting in trouble or get booked or whatever for a crime. And Tiger hair wouldn't comb. He's already got that receding hairline that he want to let go, looking like a quasi George Jefferson. Eyes were looking real suspect as hell. Once again, it wasn't alcohol, though. He's saying, and I've heard nothing to the difference. They're supposed to have a police report today filed for the particular police department that arrested him. But it wasn't alcohol. It wasn't alcohol. And he mixed some drugs, some painkillers, or whatever, man, and just a bad look. And I started to think, man, Tiger's last major, and you're listening to the Doug Stewart Show, the last major that Tiger Woods won was in 2008. That's crazy. This man was so dominant for so many years, and I always talk about how Tiger Woods is the cat that really brought a whole new demographic to golf. You know, I mean, before Tiger Woods came along, man, black people didn't really play golf to the degree that I see now. As a matter of fact, we scoffed at the notion of even watching golf when I was growing up. We just flipped by damn golf or whatever, man. But Tiger made it kind of fun. He made it kind of interesting, man. And my, how the mighty have fallen. And he's in a little hot water right now. Tiger really hadn't been the same. You can kind of bookmark it back to the whole thing. And you're listening to the Doug Stewart Show. You can kind of bookmark it back to the whole thing with him and his wife when she took a golf club to his ass or whatever. But Tiger really hadn't been the same since his daddy went home to glory. Since Earl Woods went home to glory, man. And a lot of kids, a lot of people take death differently, and it affects them differently. But Tiger just seems like that he's been kind of like off kilter ever since Earl Woods died. Same thing happened with Mike Tyson when his father figure, the great Customato, passed on and went home to glory. Tyson was never the same. Same thing seems like with Tiger Woods, man. Just not right. Something ain't right. He's like that dude on the movie Life. He can't get right. And it's just sad. It's just sad. You would have thought, and you're listening to the Doug Stewart Show, you would have thought it wouldn't have been an issue at all. Easily, he was going to pass Jack Nicklaus for majors. All he needed was 4 more. We've been saying this since 2008 once again. We've been saying this since, for many, many years. Now, all he had to do was win 4. And if you remember listening to the Stews, me and my brother made a wager on this. So our last year was like 2011. Maybe it was 2012. I think it was 2012. And me and my brother had this ongoing bet. So the last major was 2008. So 4 years had passed, and we continued to talk about Tiger Woods and, beating Jack Nicklaus. And my brother was like, man, it's not even a question. He's going to pass him. And me, I was on the other side of it. I don't think so, man, because this guy, the big thing about golf, and even though I shoot in the high 90s, the big thing about golf, man, is your focus. And with all of the stuff that have happened to Tiger Woods, man, his focus just ain't been the same. talking about Earl Woods, talking about what happened with his old lady when she got the golf club and started to go ham. His focus, man, and another thing about Tiger, too, and you're listening to the Doug Stewart Show, I think that mentally, Tiger Woods not being this, perfect being, that they put him on this pedestal for so many years as being this great person and this, that, and the other. When he got caught out there with a couple of chicks on the side, man, I think the way that people looked at Tiger Woods, a lot of people, and thought that he was a disappointment for what was revealed about him, which we will break all that down here in a second. They looked at him different. I think that Tiger subconsciously knows that, and that once again leads to that conversation about focus. When he was, Captain America and everybody loved him and he's great and he's smiling and he's this, that, and the other, and we love Tiger Woods and he's so gracious and this, that, and the other, it was all good. But now the average golf fan looks at Tiger Woods kind of side-eye. It's just really sad, man. It's just really sad. I always, and you're listening to the Doug Stewart Show, whenever we talk about the greatest athletes of all times, or at least in my life, the last 40-plus years, whenever we talk about them, I think ESPN, was it ESPN or Sports Illustrated? I think Sports Illustrated did a list of the top 50 athletes or 25 athletes or 100 athletes of all times. And number one, they had Muhammad Ali. And I think number two, they had Michael Jordan. And maybe Tiger was number 3 or something like that. He was in the top 5. I always argue, man, Tiger's number 1. Tiger is the number 1 greatest sports story in this country for the reason I mentioned earlier. You're listening to the Doug Stewart Show. There were basketball fans before Michael Jordan, okay? Michael Jordan didn't add a whole segment of people that became viewers of basketball. He didn't do that. As great as he was, people watched basketball way before Michael Jordan came around. We thought it was a great sport all the way around. Same thing for boxing. Tiger brought a whole demographic to a sport, okay? Period. Tiger Woods made it cool to play golf, made it cool to watch golf. The way that he acts, or he acted on the golf course when he was playing a tournament, the fist pump, bringing excitement. Golf is usually one of those sports, or has always been a sport where it's very kind of monotone. You're not supposed to show a bunch of emotion, kind of like the same crappy unwritten rules that they have in baseball. And so you're supposed to not show a lot of emotion. You're not supposed to, get excited. You're not supposed to fist pump. Tiger brought all of that to the sport. Not only that, not only did he bring, I think, a whole demographic of talking about black people to watch the sport, or to at least give it a chance, and to play the sport. That's another big thing. Like, playing golf? Man, never thought I'd see it in a million years, but I love the sport, and the reason why I picked up a golf club, and a lot of y'all probably in the same boat, is because Tiger made it seem kind of fun, So this man brought a whole new, the golf industry can't thank Tiger Woods enough. They can't. As far as the popularity of the sport throughout his 15 years, 20 years as a professional golfer. This man kind of, did something that most other great athletes have never done. This man basically energized and fueled a sport for 15-plus years. It's really kind of sad to see, man, how, once again, the mighty have fallen. What are your thoughts on Tiger Woods? We'll talk a little bit more about the details coming up in the next segment. Once again, the number to the show is 404-382-0338. And I'm sorry I digress a little bit. I didn't mean to get on a tangent talking about Tiger Woods, man, but it's very, very relevant, man, and seeing where he was and where he is right now. And, man, I tell you what, I mean, the reason me and my brother out there playing golf is because of Tiger Woods. There's no doubt in my mind, and I don't think anybody can really question that. There's a big culture of black golfers here in ATL, which is the new Chocolate City. And I think that the precedent or the reason why, just in general, man, was Tiger Woods. For all of the reasons that I just talked about just now. But we'll talk a little bit about the story, give you more details about what exactly happened this past weekend as he gets a DUI down there in Jupiter, Florida. With some football to talk about as well I want to get into today on the Doug Stewart Show. The Atlanta Falcons in particular, Lane Kiffin, man, making some big moves in college football. We'll talk about him and whatever else you want to do. Once again, jump in the chat room on Spreaker.com. All right, jump in the chat room on Spreaker.com. Post your thoughts, and I'll read it all throughout the show. I read a lot of chat messages once again. That's what makes this the most interactive, fun sports and guy talk show in America. Trust me on that. If you're new to the show, we talk cash-ish, and we have a lot of fun. And also today, one of my favorite groups of all time, the Great Goody Mob is featured today on a Tribute Tuesday. When I think Goody Mob, I think when I first moved to Atlanta. That's right. Goody Mob was kind of hot. So the year's active 1991, and technically they're still a group. I don't know if they've done anything recently, man. I really don't think so. But Goody Mob is straight ATL. Right. They're straight ATL. And when I first moved to Atlanta in 95, Goody Mob was, in the conversation right behind Outkast and the big boys as far as the hip-hop industry, man. So today we pay homage to the great Goody Mob. Goody Mo B. Yes, sir. Yeah, you can join in on the fun, man. 404-382-0338. You can also email me at doug@thedugstewartshow.com. Hour number 2, birthdays. And hour number 3, we call it the Power Hour, which is where we really focus on the Stewies and the chat and anything they want to talk about, all right, here on the Doug Stewart Show. All right, the number is 404-382-0338. You can also email me at doug@thedugstewartshow.com. Listen, the Tau Chapter Qs and Lambda Epsilon AKAs here in ATL are having their 10th annual White Party. That's right, it's going down 595 Event Center in ATL, Saturday, June 3rd, 2017. 2 dance floors, a live band, all of the proceeds benefit scholarships, community programs for both chapters. All right, so let's do some good in the hood, like Richard Sherman. I'll tell you about that later. If you want to get your tickets, go to the whitepearlaffair.eventbrite.com. That's the whitepearlaffair.eventbrite.com. Make sure that you mention the Doug Stewart Show or TDSS is going to be a part in there where they ask you, how'd you hear about the event? Tell them that I sent you. All right, when we get back from the break, man, some of your messages in the chat room, phone calls if we got them, and let's talk a little bit more about Tiger Woods and the tough weekend that he had. Don't go away. Back in 3 minutes. This is the Doug Stewart Show.
Yo, Mills, let's get him again. Kings Nation. Spot Raiders. Mills. It's Spot Raiders, y'all. Yeah, listen, boy, skills, y'all. I ain't skills, nah. I don't rep the beat. I ain't the cat that came out and made you on MC. I ain't the cat that did it alone, had no help. Carried the whole state on his back by himself. When P was the verb lord and Tim had a small frame. Before Missy came and got you wet in the rain. Was them raw metaphors that was picking your brain. It was a cat from Richmond sickening with a flow insane. Nah, I ain't him, he ain't me. They say we look alike, but they don't mean I want your CD. So it's best to back up, relax for acting tough. Get your facts up before your ass end up in the rapper. And you don't want to see that dude. He was screaming VA when screaming VA wasn't cool. Huh. Now let me stop, that's me. But you'll never open the state, Playboy, cause I still got the key.
I'm from the B to the SA, one of the few who get played. I stay in these streets, a cop, cook, and flip yay. Dog, you a slizzy, like Kunta and Kizzy. Who am I? Did you miss me? But on on the up and up, they can't get enough of us. The home of Missy, D'Angelo, and Bubba Chuck. And you don't know what we capable of. Be at your crib with a mask, duct tape, and some gloves. What? Down here, cash rules. Nothing but bad dudes from Richmond and bad news. Make fast moves, dog. Stay alert here. Catch them up top, come down and drop work here. Home of the Brizzy, we live to get paid until I'm old and grizzly. This is where I stizzy. Born and raised from the cradle to the grave.